Stuart, an unchanged match 23 to face Italy. Seems in the public that it's obvious why you would do that. Can you explain a bit about, from the coach's point of view, why you decided to keep the same 23?
It wasn't that easy internally, if I'm being honest, because there's a lot of very good players who are just on the outside of the squad, who probably deserve a chance and are going to have to wait patiently, potentially to the Ireland game or beyond, because it was a good performance, and I think the players who played in the team deserve the opportunity to go again. It helps breed consistency. You can learn together and move on together as a group. But as I say, it wasn't an easy decision because, let's say, some very good players who are waiting on the sideline.
Were those conversations perhaps with the non-23 slightly easier though because you won? Is it easier for them to understand why they haven't been picked perhaps this week?
Not really. No, I mean, and you've got someone like Brad Barrett, who was excellent for us in the autumn internationals, and now he's back available and fit. Danny Kerr, obviously, desperate to have another opportunity, and someone like him, I'm sure, will generate that for him at some point in the future. But no, so they're all difficult conversations, and but the players do understand if they've not been involved that if a performance has gone well, there's probably less likely to be changed than if it hasn't. So it's always a difficult one.
What does that consistency do then? What does it do for a team that's been here for 2 weeks training to have the same match 23? What difference does it make on the field, do you feel?
Well, hopefully it'll develop more cohesion and more understanding of the game plan, of how we need to go about to win the game. And we had it before. I mean, it doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, the reality is you've got to get your process and your detail right. I remember this time 2 years ago, I think we had a similar side going into the Italy game at home from the previous game, and we undid a lot of good work we'd done in that Six Nations campaign by not playing particularly well. So the consistency is one thing, but it's what you do in the week and how you prepare that's probably more important.
Why are Italy difficult to play against then? Why you reference it there? Why are they a tough team to play, do you think, and why have they been tough things as a crack traditionally over the years?
Well, I think they're well coached. Obviously, their players are now used to playing a high level of European rugby. Across the board, they clearly will make every element of the game competitive and disrupt as much as humanly possible. And so things like the way they go about the scrum, the very strong scrummaging side, line-out-wise, very experienced, very good at disrupting, driving mauls, excellent at the breakdown, and in people like Parise, have got an iconic leader who charges around and influences the game from 1 to 15, really, plays in every position. And I think if you don't get the detail right when you play against them, you find it very difficult. And I think Ireland found it difficult last week. They got 2 tries within 3 minutes, but they didn't really look like scoring many others. And South Africa played them in November, and again got 2 tries, but probably breakaway tries they'd be described as. So, on the last 2 occasions I've seen them play, they've been excellent, both against Ireland and against South Africa.
How difficult is it when you go into a game that you're expected to win against a team you never lost? How do you guard against any complacency?
You show them images of us struggling against them in the past, because we have done. My first game in charge was in Italy in the snow, and it was down to a Charlie Hudson charge down that we won that game. Let's say 2 years ago, Twickenham 18-11. There was a moment, 74, 75 minutes, where we were 18-11, they were pressing our line, and Courtney Laws stole one of their lineouts. But equally, we could have easily drawn that game. So there's plenty of images I can show you.
You talk about building on the performance from Wales. What do you want to see from the team that improved from that game? People have spoken in the week about 5-10% better in certain areas. What do you feel you need to improve?
Start. Not going points down would be a big help. I think it put us under pressure, no doubt about it. And when you're under pressure at 10 points down, you tend to have to sort of play a little bit more and chase the game a bit. And I thought we kept our discipline well, but if you start well and you build a score, then you force the opposition to do that. You force them to start chasing the game and take risks perhaps they wouldn't do if they were in the lead. So I think the start and building a score is going to be critical for us, and that'll be the main work on for me.
You were perhaps more animated in the crowd in Cardiff than we've seen you for some time. What are those games like to watch for England? How do you feel when you're watching England play?
I was only animated at the end. I think I was fine during the game. And no, you're just delighted to win, really. During the game, you lock yourself into a bit of a zone and really narrow down your focus on the detail of the game. There's an awful lot of noise and distractions that go on during the game, but I think the trick is to focus purely on the detail of the game and how the game's unfolding and what tactical messages you can get on via Catty to help the team win, and that's where all my attention goes. Yeah, the only time I guess I allow myself to relax is when the game's over.